Today we're going to set up and cycle a planted shrimp tank for my new Caridina shrimp with undergrovel filtration. So join me on a journey through the first 100 days of our shrimp tank's life, all condensed into this 16-minute video. Let's get started. It is no secret that I'm a big fan of undergravel filtration, especially when it comes to keeping Caridina shrimp, but the downside of this method that you can't have rooted plants in that kind of tanks. You can't plant directly into UGF filter for obvious reason, the roots of the plants will block the filter. And at the front I normally use only a thin layer of soil to avoid any waste building up inside. But recently I came out with an interesting idea. I created an area for carpeting plants at the front of the UGF, and since then my interest in the planted tanks started to grow, and now I want to add some stem plants into my setups. But how can I do it? Well, I've got an idea for that. We can create an area for our stem plants at the very back of the tank using the glass partition again. You're gonna see what I mean in a second. So for this setup I'm using this tank, which is 40 cm cube, and I already prepared glass partitions here. I attached the first glass partition only 3 cm away from the back glass. This is where we're going to plant our stem plants, and we don't need too much space for them. The second partition is for our UGF filter, and it's around 9 cm tall. We can fit around 4 liters of aqua soil into this UGF, which is plenty for the tank this size. So as you can see, I use UGF plates as a spacer when I attach this glass partition to make sure that the plates fit nicely and without gaps. Then I fixed the last glass partition, which is only 3 cm tall, to create an area for carpeting plants at the front, and I used a piece of 4x2 as a spacer, so this area is only around 10 cm. And we ended up with a small feeding area at the very front, where I'm going to put only a very thin layer of the aqua soil to avoid building up the waste. It is the next day and I'm back to continue building our tank, and take a look at it. I already cleaned the silicone from the glass and I installed the UGF plates and the tubing. So here I already prepared the soil for this tank, and I'm gonna use ADM Amazonia golden version for undergravel filter, and I'm gonna use a little bag which called bottom soil. I never used this soil before, I'm not sure if it's good or bad, so I want to use it inside this little pocket at the back, just soil for the plants. So now let's fill this tank with this soil. Now let's put this bottom soil to the back of the tank. I'm gonna use the same bottom soil for the front of the tank, where we're gonna have some carpeting plants. It looks awesome already. I cannot wait to put some plants in this tank. It's gonna look fantastic, guys. And we fit quite a lot of soil in this tank. Here at the back in this little pocket, about 2 liters of soil. We have 4 liters inside UGF, and we have another maybe 1.5 liters here at the front. So with this amount of soil, I hope this tank gonna last for at least 2 years, guys. And take a look again from this side. Wow, that look awesome. It's like a little steps. So now it's time to put some bacterial powder, fill it with the water and start our cycle. And as always, I'm gonna use bacterial powder from Taiwan, and I'm simply gonna sprinkle a few grams of this bacterial powder on top of this soil. Guys, I completely forgot to put this white frosted film to the back of the tank. Never too late, so I'm gonna do it now. Well, that's heavy. So this tank is going to be located here on the top shelf, exactly in the middle. Then in the future I'm going to build another 2 tanks on either side. Okay guys, we filled this tank with the water and our cycle is officially started right now. It's going to take around 8 weeks to complete our cycle. There's going to be a lot of ammonia leaching into the water because we have ADM Amazonia there. I'm back with an update, and it's been 8 weeks since we start cycling this tank, and as you can see inside the tank we have plenty of dust algae as well as the cotton algae, so this tank established very nicely. I'm very pleased with this tank so far, and off camera I did the water change at week 4, so I didn't record this, so it was simply water change and adding a little bit of bacterial powder, nothing excited. So now I'm planning to clean the front glass of this tank, then we're gonna change 50% of the water, and then we're ready to do some planting. So let's do it now. It is the next day, and you can see I managed to do a quite decent job to clean this tank. It's looking nice and clean, and already checked the ammonia level, and you can see it's 0. So that means this tank cycled already, so we can technically add shrimps anytime from now. but you know me, I'm taking it slow, so I'm probably gonna do the planting first, then wait for a couple weeks, and then we're gonna add some shrimps. I just came back from the shop, and this is what I've got for my tank. As you can see, for the foreground, I bought some Eleacharis mini or dwarf hair grass, and I very like this plant. And for the background, I have three lovely plants here, two of them the same, and they are Rotalia rotundifolia. This is two plants, and I also have Lobelia cardinalis. And here at the bottom of the rack, I have my shrimp having tank with very lovely plant which called Alternatira reneki. So you can see it start to growing out of the water, so it need to be cut, and we can use these cuts for our new setup. Okay guys, now let's prepare our Eleacharis mini for planting. I think it's even more than enough for our tank. It's gonna be an instant result, guys. This is what I want. So now I'm going to start planting some plants at the background, and I'm going to start with Rotalia rotundifolia. We have lots of soil there, very deep space. So we got from here all the way to the bottom, plenty space for the roots to develop, and I'm sure the plants are going to be happy here. This is the first time I'm having this plant, so I'm excited to see how it's going to develop. And now it's time for Lobelia cardinalis. Let's put it somewhere in the middle, like here. And now it's time to Alternatira reneki, and let's bring some red colors to this tank. And take a look at this result, guys. This tank looks fantastic already. We have a plenty hair grass at the front of the tank, more than we needed, and we have a very beautiful plants at the back. I want to wait for like at least 3 weeks, and then we can do something at this area in the middle. I'm very excited to see how this tank gonna develop in a few weeks, and you're gonna see it in a few seconds. It's been another month since we added plants into this tank, and I finally find time for the final step. You don't have to wait for so long to cycle your tank, and I'm sure if I would add some shrimps here a month ago, they would be just fine. I was just a little bit busier, and I decided to leave this tank alone for another month. And this is how our tank looks after 1 month. It's absolutely covered with algae. So let's scrape this algae from the glass and see what we got inside. I discovered that we have quite a lot of algae on the surface, including our hair grass, and this is because our tank is brand new and soil we use here is rich in minerals, and this is absolutely normal. This type of algae is very beneficial for the shrimp. It is the main food source for the babies and also for the adult shrimps, and I normally don't clean the side glass, but I decided to do it in this particular tank. As you can see, we have a plenty of surface area in this tank. That would be more than enough of algae and biofilm for our shrimp, and I'm not planning to put a lot of shrimps here. Then I cleaned UGA filter, and that created a lot of mess. So this was a good idea to do a massive water change after that. This is what I normally do at the very end once this cycle is completed. It is the next day, and guys, take a look at this tank. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And you guys probably noticed that we're missing some plants in the mid-ground of this tank, and it is not secret that I like buciphilandra plants on the pieces of wood. This is what I'm gonna put in this tank. And I'm also gonna put coconut shell with Petsidens moss here. So let's do it now. Take a look at this beauty, guys. To be honest with you, it looks even better than I expected. I'm sure our shrimp's gonna love this tank, and guys, for this tank I want to buy a new shrimp which I don't have in my collection, so let's check online and see what we can get. I normally buy my shrimp from eBay, and this is a good place to find the shrimp from other hobbies like me. You can see that most of the listings are for Neo Caridina or for simple Caridina like crystal black, crystal red shrimps, but you can also find some high-end Caridina like Black Galaxy Fancy Tiger, for example, here. I quite like this option, like a red tiger orange eye here. It's very interesting shrimp actually. I never seen that shrimp before. It's only 2 available, so it's only 10 shrimps available, which not quite enough for me. I prefer to buy like a 20 shrimp at once. I found quite interesting listing, red fancy tiger Caridina shrimp. I never seen it on eBay. So the seller describes the shrimp as a mid to low grade, and we're gonna receive 10 shrimps plus 1 extra shrimp for £45, which is about $50. and £10 delivery, which is about $12. So for around $120, I can buy 20 shrimp plus 2 extra, 22 shrimps, and this is the perfect number. Let's take a look at the pictures. I really like the patterns, some of them a little bit pale, so hopefully seller gonna send us some good ones. I think I'm quite happy to purchase them, and as you can see, it's only 3 available, so we need to be hurry. Let's buy 2 of them, just put 2 shrimps and buy it now. Any minute now, delivery guy should come to my front door and bring us new shrimp, and I'm always excited to receive a new shrimp. And the best way to kill the time is to do something creative, and I want to do a little improvement on this tank. I want to create a DIY backlight. Let me show you what I mean. Here I have 5 meters of RGB multicolor LED strip light. I have LED strip light Wi-Fi controller, and I have a 12-volt transformer just to power everything up. All we need to do is to connect 12-volt power supply to LED controller like so. And then we're gonna scan this code. Here you go. So we open this application. This light I also got from AliExpress. So very cool device. All the links gonna be in video description. To fix the light to the back of the tank, I cut a piece of board the same length as the tank and slightly lower than the level of the soil at the back. Then I attach a strip light to the edge of the board, and I simply place the board at the back of the aquarium. Okay, I just put this board at the back of the tank, and now let's test it out. Let's switch it on. Take a look at these guys. Oh my god, that's insane! Let me just change the color. Let's do the pink one. Wow! I just spent like $20 or so, you know. I still have like 4.5 meters of this light I can use on all my tanks. Let me quickly show you the light on the board. So this is how it looks. So the board is slightly below of the level of the surface. I find a new cool feature when the light can change the color. It looks like a shrimp disco club. Guys, check it out. You basically can scan the color with your phone camera and transfer it to your light. Check it out. Here you go. Our parcel just arrived. I'm very excited to see our shrimp, so let's open this up and see what we got inside. As always, we have a little bag of free moss. Always good to have it. I guess we ordered 2 sets of shrimps, that's why we received 2 separate bags. Wow, so many shrimps on this sponge. And they're looking great. So let's put them in an acrylic box and see what we got. In the first bag we have 12 shrimps. That's 2 shrimps extra. Amazing. We have 3 adult shrimps and 9 juvenile shrimps. In another box we have also 12 shrimps. Amazing. So we have 24 shrimps for the price of 20. That's insane. Thank you so much, the seller, to send me 4 extra shrimp. And here we have mostly of adult shrimps, only 3 juveniles. That's great because our shrimps can breed straight away. I'm very happy about that. Okay, the shrimps are all in one box, and take a look at them. I quite like the grade of the shrimps. I want to know the TDS of this water before I put the shrimps in my tank. So the TDS here is 142.43, which is good because the water TDS in my tank is 110, which is no big difference. So now let's acclimate the shrimps to the new environment. It's definitely the most exciting moment in the shrimp tank setup. It's to add the shrimps into the new tank. We wait for this for so long. Yeah, this is your new home, guys. I hope you enjoy. They're definitely going to be breeding well here. Look at this sexy light at the back. Finally, guys, our shrimps are in the tank and they are so beautiful. I'm so pleased with them. So now I'm gonna leave them in this tank for a couple of weeks. I'm not going to do any feeding or water changes at this stage. I'm going to let them enjoy algae and biofilm and natural and the best food for our shrimp. In case you don't know, guys, a fancy tiger is basically a Thai bee shrimp. It's a cross between bee with tiger shrimp. In our case, it's probably a mix of crystal red and tiger shrimp, and this involves many generations of shrimp crossing and lots of selective breeding in order to get the shrimp this great. So it's very time consuming and it's a lot of work. And don't mistake this shrimp for the Galaxy Tiger. You can see I have some red Galaxy Tigers and they look almost identical to the high-grade Fancy Tigers. The difference is that Galaxy Tiger is a shadow shrimp and Fancy Tiger is basic Caridina. So the Galaxy Tiger is a mix of pinto shrimp with tiger, and it's always going to have a stronger coloration because it's shadow shrimp. I'm back again after 2 weeks with my final update, and this tank is doing awesome. The plants and shrimps look healthy. Remember we cleaned this glass a couple weeks ago? Now it's covered with very healthy green dust algae. It was definitely a good thing to do. This algae we have now is look much healthier, and we've got a horde of copepods feeding on it, which is a great sign of the thriving ecosystem. Earlier I added few more background stem plants, Ludwigia super red, and they look absolutely stunning in this setup. They also red color, and I like red plants. Take a look at them, guys. I think it was a great idea to create this area for the stem plants. I'll definitely going to do it again in my other setups. Our shrimp did a good job of cleaning this tank, and they were not even halfway done. This means that we created a never-ending food source for them. So today I'm gonna give them a treat, a little feeding, just to see if they come out at all. You can see that our shrimps are not hungry at all. Only a few shrimps came to the front to try our snack. We gave it to them, and this is because we still have plenty of natural foods in this tank. So I'm gonna end up my video here. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, please drop me a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you so much again. I'll see you in the next one.